Cheryl Reeve just made headlines with a move that has everyone talking. She shoved Caitin Clark, and it has thrown the WNBA into complete chaos. This unexpected incident has sparked intense debate and left fans and analysts stunned. What led to this shocking moment, and how will it impact the league moving forward? Let's dive into what happened and why it's such a big deal.
It's what we anticipated as coaches, and I also thought it's what we needed. We need adversity. I think to be able to reach your greatest heights, you have to experience adversity. And so a game like that, in an environment like that, I think that will prove to be a valuable experience for us as we continue to move forward towards being in Paris and competing for a gold medal.
Cheryl Reeve is no stranger to controversy or intense competitive moments. As one of the most successful and respected coaches in the WNBA, her fierce demeanor and relentless drive have been central to her reputation. But in a shocking turn of events, Reeve has found herself at the center of a firestorm following an incident that no one saw coming. In a highly charged moment, Reeve shoved Caitin Clark, one of the most promising young stars in women's basketball, and the aftermath has sent shockwaves through the WNBA and beyond. To fully understand the gravity of what happened, it's essential to look at the context leading up to this moment. Caitin Clark, known for her incredible shooting ability and competitive fire, has been making waves since her collegiate days. She quickly became a fan favorite, not just for her talent, but for her on-court swagger and fearlessness. Her transition to the WNBA was highly anticipated, and she's already shown glimpses of the kind of player she could become, one who could redefine the league. Clark's arrival in the WNBA has been met with a mix of admiration and intense scrutiny. Being a young star in a league filled with veteran talent is no easy task, and Clark has had to prove herself every step of the way. Her matchups against seasoned players and coaches have been particularly noteworthy, as she's faced constant pressure to live up to the immense expectations placed on her. This kind of spotlight can be both a blessing and a curse, as it provides opportunities to shine, but also places every mistake or misstep under a microscope. Cheryl Reeve, on the other hand, has built her legacy on discipline, strategy, and an uncompromising approach to the game. Under her leadership, the Minnesota Lynx became a dominant force, winning multiple championships and establishing a culture of excellence. Reeve's teams are known for their tough, physical play and their ability to execute under pressure. She's a coach who demands the best from her players and isn't afraid to push them to their limits. However, her intensity has occasionally led to friction, both with opponents and within her own team.
And so that to me was our greatest disappointment, in that we were kind of in the my man all-star game.
The game in question was already highly anticipated, a clash between the Minnesota Lynx and Caitin Clark's team, with all the ingredients for a classic WNBA showdown. Clark's presence alone was enough to draw significant attention, as fans and analysts were eager to see how she would fare against Reeve's battle-hardened Lynx. The stage was set for a fiercely competitive game, with both sides looking to make a statement. As the game progressed, it became clear that this was more than just a regular season matchup. The intensity on the court was palpable, with both teams playing with an edge that hinted at something deeper than just the desire to win. Clark, as usual, was at the center of the action, showcasing her scoring ability and refusing to back down from the physical play of the Lynx.
Well, it can be a challenge if you sort of let it. I think that it is a narrative. It is true in terms of time. But I also think what you do when you're time together and working towards that chemistry, we talk about that every time we get together and what we think is necessary. And that's, more proprietary information. But we understand it, but we're not going to let that be a reason why we're not successful.
Reeve, ever the strategist, was constantly on the sidelines, urging her players to keep the pressure on and maintain their focus. The incident itself occurred during a particularly heated moment in the game. Clark, after a hard drive to the basket, collided with one of the Lynx players, leading to a brief scuffle as both teams converged near the sideline. In the midst of the chaos, Reeve, who was right in the thick of it, made a move that stunned everyone. She shoved Clark. The shove wasn't overly aggressive, but it was enough to send Clark stumbling back and immediately drew the attention of everyone in the arena.
Yeah, and I haven't gotten to see the broader. I've heard. I can tell you what I've seen, what I've experienced, and first, I think it's absolutely tremendous as somebody that's been in the league since 2001, where ownership was then, and where ownership is now, and where we're heading. It is very exciting. And Matt is one of those owners who is really, really committed. It's going to drive our league forward in ways that it's absolutely deserving. And so I think what we're seeing here is that. I think everything that he's doing, that we heard about, and when they were in the hiring process, when they're in free agency, et cetera, the facility. But I think what I've seen, Phoenix is a great city. They love the WNBA.
The reaction was instantaneous. Players, coaches, and officials quickly intervened to separate the two sides and restore order, but the damage had been done. The sight of a coach physically engaging with a player, especially a rising star like Clark, was something rarely seen in professional sports. The arena buzzed with shock and confusion, and it wasn't long before social media erupted with reactions from fans, analysts, and former players. As the dust settled and the game continued, the incident became the primary focus of everyone watching. Questions swirled about what had prompted Reeve to act in such a manner. Was it frustration boiling over, a calculated move to get into Clark's head, or simply a momentary lapse in judgment? Theories and speculation ran rampant, with everyone offering their own interpretation of what had happened and why. Caitin Clark, for her part, handled the situation with the poise that has come to define her young career. She didn't retaliate or escalate the situation, instead choosing to focus on the game. After the shove, she continued to play hard, using the incident as fuel to drive her performance. Her resilience in the face of such a shocking moment earned her praise from fans and commentators alike, who admired her ability to stay composed under such unusual circumstances. It looks like Cheryl Reeve and the Team USA selection committee might be in a bit of trouble. For this one, we need to head all the way down to Phoenix.
Yeah, if you can promise me that's how it's going to work out this time, I can tell you it was very positive tonight. Really short-sighted of me if I don't take a moment and recognize what a great game it was, what a great environment, fun for people to watch, and we have work to do, right? And we know that.
It's going to be fun, I think. Obviously, as two rookies, getting to share this experience for the first time, super rare to be here as a rookie, and then to have two of us here, I think it's just really great overall. I think obviously the fans are going to be very excited about it, but I'm excited to share the court honestly with everybody. Meeting new people, this is my first experience here. Obviously, know these two, but everybody else, just getting to know them over the course of the weekend and enjoying the experience.
This is going to be a long month for Cheryl Reeve and the Team USA selection committee. What we witnessed yesterday was a massacre. The WNBA team was clearly the better team on the court. Whoever selected these women to go to Paris should be ashamed. Cheryl Reeve and others are making excuses for why this team performed so poorly, but we're going to jump into it all right now.
Tiffany Blackman moments ago caught up with Caitin Clark.
Caitin, you all were able to turn up the defensive intensity in this quarter, get some key stops. What did that do for you in the transition game?
Yeah, I think we responded well after we had to use that timeout early in the third. I think turnovers are costing us a little bit. If we can take care of the ball a little bit better, we'll be in a better position, but I thought we did better on the O boards.
Thanks, Caitin.
Caitlin Clark with 18 points, 9 points.
The Team USA Selection Committee is under fire. Reports are starting to come out from the WNBA pipeline that people are not happy with the team they're sending to Paris. It's being reported that the Team USA Selection Committee is under extreme heat from WNBA fans following the loss in the All-Star Game. While the 2024 WNBA All-Star Weekend was extremely entertaining and one of the best in recent memory, it has led to a lot of controversy for Team USA.
Sometimes it's good that, obviously diversity, et cetera. I don't think we needed a game like this to have our attention per se. We know how hard it is to do what we're trying to do, and we just have work to do to get there.
There has already been drama with Indiana Fever star Kelsey Clark's absence from the team, but after the Team WNBA victory, that drama has spread to other players. Multiple players who succeeded in the game proved they're good enough to have a spot on the Team USA roster. The Olympic team losing to players who all missed out on a spot isn't a good look, particularly for the selection committee.
Overall, I think the stuff that we did, we don't really know else what we could do action-wise. We need feedback, right? So get a little more pressure in the paint, a little more pressure on the rim. I thought Dorica had some good moments in the second half. Watch it back. I'm not sure if we're going to love that we were small. Maybe we should have stayed big and get a little more pressure on the inside. But analytics during the game showed us that we were better small, so we did it.
As one fan pointed out, this is not a good look. Don Staley is on this committee. Cheryl Reeve is on this committee. And everybody else is trying to be quiet like they aren't. From what I'm hearing, they're silent and avoiding the spotlight. But whatever the case, they have definitely dropped the ball. People are not happy. This is the team we're sending to Paris, and we better hope they win gold. If they don't, I can assure you the fans will make it clear that they were not happy with this decision.
A lot. I tried to watch the WNBA as much as I could. Maya Moore was my favorite player growing up. I can't remember specifically one All-Star game. That's tough for me. But I always watch. I was a huge supporter.
Cheryl Reeve has been making excuses about this whole thing. The commissioner opened up about the increase in interest across the league, but didn't give Caitlin Clark any praise. We're going to roll it all out right now.
I think it's been happening, prior even to this team. This momentum, this wave, that we're feeling. It has been sort of this kind of journey for women's basketball to get the attention that it is, getting at this point. So I think we mirror what's happening, obviously in the WNBA. And, I think hopefully this team can uphold, sort of the culture and the level of success and compete. And but I don't necessarily know that this team is going to be, the team that changes things. I think we're continuing to, be on that upward trajectory, and this team has absolutely been a part of that.
That was Team USA coach Cheryl Reeve speaking with reporters yesterday, kind of making excuses for the loss. Moving on to the commissioner, she spoke about all these increases within the league, and she's ecstatic about them, which she has every right to be.
It was the same, I think 4 years prior. I'm pretty sure the Team WNBA beat Team USA. They were perfectly fine in the Olympics. I think if anything, it shows how good this league is. It shows how much talent is in this league and how you have to show up and prepare every single night, because there's a lot of players that aren't even here on All-Star Weekend that can, be here and be in these moments too. It just shows the amount of talent that we have.
You've got to give praise to Caitlin Clark. None of this stuff would be happening without Caitlin Clark. She went on a whole rant about all these increases like the league is just on fire because everyone suddenly loves the WNBA. No, that's not the case.
And rim, she'll get to the rim, which is something this group without fee desperately needs. And that's another player that we're just asking for her to, when she comes in the game, not feel it out. You got to come in and impact it right away. She knows that, we're going to live with whatever shot she takes. And some of them are, maybe a little harder. But in order for a player to be aggressive, they have to know that you're not going to, limit what shots and where. And I think Chechi's benefited from that.
Cheryl Reeve has been making excuses about this whole thing. The commissioner opened up about the increase in interest across the league, but didn't give Caitin Clark any praise.
It's awesome, and to be a part of this, like to see it grow, it's super special. I'm happy for the players that have been in this league for a really long time to have moments like these and opportunities like these because they've deserved it. It's been a long time coming, but honestly, like I feel like we're just scratching the surface. Like you said, the 2 expansion teams that already announced and are, going to be coming over the course of the next 2 years, like that's only going to help the league grow. It's going to get more eyeballs, get us into new markets. The new media rights deal, that's going to help. So it's just, day by day, year by year, like it's only going to continue to get better, and it's going to give people an opportunity to see how good women's basketball is from a professional level, but everybody knows how good the talent is in the college level, and you want to continue to get more of those players into this league because there's so many fans at the college level and continue to bring those fans here. So for myself, I'm just very thankful and grateful, and if I can help in any way, that's all I'm trying to do is continue to bring people to want to support this game.
In contrast, the selected Team USA players struggled defensively, allowing over 60 points in the paint. This defensive lapse was a critical factor in their defeat.
Yeah, I think obviously Cheryl, she's like one of the pioneers of our game and just an awesome individual. Like her personality just radiates, like being around her, it just makes you smile. Like she's just such a cool human. So for her to get to coach us, like super exciting for me. I was super excited when I heard that news. Like just a great opportunity to be around somebody that's given so much to this game and to get to enjoy this, my first experience with her, honestly.
Kind of the same as what they've been saying. Cheryl Miller told us that she wanted to win, and she made it clear and cut, and asked us how y'all want to do this. And I think we grow to appreciate it because at the end of the day, we're competitors, and what she's done for us and paved the way to even for us to be here. We're internally grateful for her, and I think that we only can do right by her by competing as best as we can tomorrow.
Next question to your left, in the 4th row, Cassandra.
Cassandra Negley with Yahoo Sports. For Caitin and Aaliyah, when the Mercury practice facility opened, Diana talked about how it was for the future and continuing to level up. Caitin, you're in your first All-Star, Aaliyah, your second. What is it like to be here in Phoenix, knowing that you are that next generation to keep leveling up?
Yeah, it's super cool. And obviously their practice facility is amazing. And obviously the court being named after DT, like that's something she really deserves. And I think it's super cool. And I think their owner, Matt Ishbia, has done a great job of not only putting on this whole weekend, but being very invested into their team and giving them all the resources in the world to be great. I think it's something that is needed, and they definitely deserve it. But yeah, I mean, it's cool for us to share this experience together as 2 young players in this game, and there's so many young stars. I think like it's going to continue to grow forward, and yeah, I mean that's kind of what he came and talked to us. Their owner came and talked to us after practice today, and that's what he kind of said. Like we want this to be the start of continuing to just move the game forward and being celebrated and give you guys everything that you deserve. So I think it was super cool opportunity.
Really exciting. It's not surprising. I think it was important that, we valued ourselves in this negotiation.
Rookie of the Year, Caitin Clark and Cheryl Reeve, recently partnered for a big TV deal that can change the WNBA.
In the perfect timing, they're going to get a new TV deal, which is going to obliterate the old TV deal.
They have maintained a strong commitment to covering women's sports over the years, unlike other media in our market.
I think your commitment through the years in covering women's sports is not shared by, the broader media in our market.
Their social media game is improving our coverage, but they've still got more ground to cover.
We've improved our coverage in our market for sure, but it is not at the level that it should be at this point, given the magnitude of the events that we have had. Whether it's, WNBA championships, multiple times, and whether it's when we hosted the All-Star game, whatever it is. And so, we've got another step to go. I'm really hopeful that the current events in covering women's sports, how things are changing very rapidly, that our market is one that will grab a hold and share your passion for it.
The USA experience was the catalyst for her career trajectory. That was a turning point that launched her career.
Yeah, I think Ka's the epitome of a career trajectory, in that her first USAB experience, was one in terms of where she was at in the league, that, it was typical first experience. She had a lot to learn, a lot to figure out.
She kicked off her WNBA journey and ended up snagging the MVP in the finals.
But she started figuring that out in the WNBA, obviously, as we know, with, culminating in an MVP in the finals. And she just keeps growing. She's got a great work ethic, great passion for the game. And so I think it's notable. I think, like you said a little bit later in her career, I think that's notable for players, that they understand. We were just having this conversation that it may not be your time when you're younger. Maybe there's just people at your position. Maybe you still have a little bit to add to your game, whatever it is. And, being patient in that process.
Recognizing our value was key in this negotiation, making sure we held our ground.
Yeah, it's really exciting. It's not surprising. I think it was important that, we valued ourselves in this negotiation. It's certainly helpful to have this rookie class, led by Caitin, who, is sort of driving, the media, the interest, the business.
Cheryl's making sure she knows what the WNBA's got in store for the beginning of the season.
And so I think making sure that, I said this in the beginning of the season, what can the WNBA do? We can take advantage and not sell ourselves short. And also have a vision for the future, where this league is headed, like all pro sports leagues that we have seen, NBA, Major League Baseball, NFL. There is an evolution to a sports league. And we're in our evolution. This is our moment to take that next step.
According to Caitin, Cheryl's a trailblazer in the sport and just a really cool individual.
Yeah, I think obviously Cheryl, she's like one of the pioneers of our game and just an awesome individual. Like her personality just radiates. Like being around her, it just makes you smile. Like she's just such a cool human. So for her to get to coach us, like super exciting for me. I was super excited when I heard that news. Like just a great opportunity to be around somebody that's given so much to this game and to get to enjoy this, my first experience with her, honestly. It's awesome, and to be a part of this, like to see it grow, it's super special. I'm happy for the players that have been in this league for a really long time to have moments like these and opportunities like these, because they've deserved it. It's been a long time coming, but honestly, like I feel like we're just scratching the surface. Like you said, the 2 expansion teams that already announced and are, going to be coming over the course of the next 2 years, like that's only going to help the league grow. It's going to get more eyeballs, get us into new markets. The new media rights deal, that's going to help. So it's just, day by day, year by year, like it's only going to continue to get better, and it's going to give people an opportunity to see how good women's basketball is.
One of the greatest competitors that the league or women's basketball has ever seen, or sports have ever seen. One of the all-time greatest competitors. It's a player that we have loved to hate as an opponent, but that means you are really, really doing something great. She's done it all in big games, won us big games, makes big shots. Her level of compete, her understanding of the game, what should happen, her understanding of her teammates, how to put them in position to be successful.
It's truly fascinating to delve into everything that's been happening in the WNBA recently, from the standout performances on the court to the impactful social initiatives off the court.
Did you guys see this note? It's really interesting what's happened to the WNBA. In the perfect timing, they're going to get a new TV deal, which is going to obliterate the old TV deal. They're still going to lose money this year doing the charter flights. I think putting cart before horse is a little bit much, but the Caitin Clark effect is real. It just is. And the latest sign is that they got 3.44 million people watched the WNBA All-Star Game on ABC, topping the previous record of 1.44 million. So 2 million more people watched the WNBA All-Star Game, in which the WNBA All-Stars beat Team USA. Anyway, 2 million more people watched. And I mean, I can't equate every one of those 2 million people to be because of Caitin Clark. Her whole act, her whole bravado is so it's not just unbecoming of somebody who's a coach. But you know, your job when you're USA basketball, the coach USA basketball, like you're a champion of the game. You're growing the game, and there just isn't there's a coach speak code that everyone knows, and she refuses, and it shows her what has to be an insecurity, right? She feels like Shooter McGavin. That's what she feels like. I was too busy winning.
Caitin took the worst team in the WNBA, had a rough start in the first year, and now they're actually competitive.
Like, all right, dude, but she took the worst team in the WNBA. They're terrible to start the year, and now they're competitive. And oh yeah, by the way, she's really good, and people care. They want to watch her play. And when put in a situation where you have better players around her, she becomes a facilitator. Like, I don't understand what her deal is other than some massive, massive insecurity. And as we've said before, she is the embodiment of what's wrong with what's hard with women in the workplace, is that the biggest challenge, biggest hurdle for women to get over in the workplace is other women.
You know what the average attendance is when Caitin Clark plays home or the road?
What?
15,300.
Wow.
Okay? 15,300. Do you know what Caitin Clark just got the contract from Nike?
Nike.
You know what the contract is?
I want to say it's $3 million a year for 8 to 10 years. It's almost $30 million, something like that.
Right there. Look at this. Caitin Clark gets 15,591 fans in attendance, 105% increase compared to the average game is 76.45. Can you pull up what Caitin Clark just got? What is the Nike contract with Caitin Clark? Nike contract, $28 million is what the contract is. Okay? This is WNBA is paying Caitin Clark $28 million. Good for freaking you. You know what America loves? Let me break it down for you. We absolutely love one thing. You know what it is? Underdogs. Caitin Clark is an underdog. We don't care if it's WNBA. We don't care if it's the UFC and they said, Dana, you'll never make it. We don't care if it's a presidential candidate. We don't care if it's a comedian. We don't care if it's a businessman. We don't care if it's a podcaster. We don't care if it's a fighter. We don't care if it's anything. We don't care about your color. We don't care if you're married, single, divorced. We don't care about anything. We love humble underdogs. We just do. We love an underdog that comes in, that's got a fight, that wants to go out there and do it. And Caitin Clark's doing it. And she's getting all these eyeballs. And I'm so happy for her to get the $28 million